Hi everyone, in today's video, we're going to test your English and we're going to answer the most common question, what is my English level? We are going to know the different English levels and what it means when someone says, I'm A1, I'm B2, I'm C2, and equally important, what you need to do to get to the next level. And that is what we're going to talk about today. So first, we're going to talk about the CEFR, or the Common European Framework of Reference. This system is specifically designed to not only the English language but other languages as well. This is a standard that is recognized all over Europe and other countries as well. This measures your language ability. So it is divided into 6 different levels: A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2, from lowest to highest. Let's start with A1, A2. So in a nutshell, this level is the beginner's level. So the next level is B1, B2. This level is the intermediate level. Basically means that you are conversational. And if you reach C1, C2 level, this level is the advanced level. I find that in this level, it's less about the language skill and more on the academic ability. And a majority of my students are at the B1 and B2 level and are working towards the C1, C2 levels. So how do we know our English level? Of course, by taking official language exams or certificate can give you an accurate assessment. If you're an English learner, you probably heard of TOEIC, TOEFL, and IELTS, for example, but they can be very expensive. And people who are not very good at test taking can get inaccurate results, but you can still get an idea of what your level is. An estimate, which is what we're going to do today. Okay, now let's get into the test. I prepared 8 fill-in-the-blanks multiple choice question from each level, and you're going to select the correct answer from the given option. Okay, now let's start. So the answer is C, funny. It's a very funny picture. I laugh at it all the time. The answer is B. Nobody gave him a hand. He did it on his own. C. He received another letter from the blackmailer demanding more money. A. Fare. How much is the fare? She asked the bus conductor. C. As old as. Bob is 79, Valerie is 79 too, so she is as old as Bob. B. The closest. Of all the cities in the world, which city is the closest to the equator? Weren't. There weren't any students on the campus yesterday because they were away for a holiday. The answer is C, went. We went to the City Museum 3 days ago. Oh, how nice. B, order. The printers worked perfectly fine this morning, but this one is now definitely out of order. You'll have to use the other one. B. Reduce. The doctors tried everything they could to reduce the patient's blood pressure. A. Effect. His new appointment takes effect from the beginning of next month. C. Disobedience. He was dismissed from the service for his insistent disobedience. B. Will have left. I promise that I will be here when you come back, but I'm afraid everyone else will have left by then. C. Was being. The traffic was moving very slowly because the highway was being repaired. A. You are. What a clever girl you are. A. As though. You look as though you were expecting some bad news. The answer is B. Cope with. I don't know how we are going to cope with the expected surge of immigrants into the country. A. Formation. A complete reconstruction of the origin and development of the atmosphere would include details of its size and composition at all times during the 4,500,000,000 years since the formation of the Earth. B. Indefinitely. We will have to hire more workers soon. We can't put it off indefinitely. A. Disasters. Champions of the Green Movement regard the internal combustion machine as one of the biggest disasters in history. B. Were able to knock. As the tree was too high to climb, the mischievous boys were able to knock their ball down only by throwing sticks at it. C. All of which. There are 20 species of wild roses in North America, all of which have large flowers that usually smell sweetly. A. More frequently than. Frost occurs in valleys and on low grounds more frequently than on adjacent hills. A. All. Gunpowder, in some ways, the most expensive of all the explosive materials, is a mixture of potassium nitrate, charcoal, and sulfur. Okay, now that is the end of the test, and depending on the number of mistakes that you made, you can get a basic idea of what your English level is. If you want to share your results, then comment it down below. And one thing though, don't feel bummed out with the mistakes that you made. Remember, you can always try to improve. What should I do once I know my English level? Okay, now you know. Now what's the next step? Setting a goal and planning your English language learning accordingly. Now, for most of the students that I've handled, speaking tends to be the skill that needs the most work. And that being said, both listening and vocabulary should be one of your main focus. If you're in the A levels, focus on basic daily communication. I recommend you listening to dialogues and practice speaking with a speaking partner. Now, if you don't know a lot of vocabulary words, that's okay. You can still start with having basic conversation with an English teacher or a speaking partner. For listening, I do recommend you start with basic listening exercises to help improve your listening comprehension. And by the way, I made a video about how to practice your listening skills. You can check that out in the description down below. If you are at the B levels, resources such as movies, podcasts, audiobooks, and even YouTube videos are great resources. You can also try to turn on the subtitles if you have difficulties. But make sure to watch it with English subtitles and not your native language. For speaking, keep chatting with your conversation partner or English teacher and slowly learn some new vocabulary words. Finally, if you're at the C levels, you want to work with something more challenging, like watching movies, reading news articles, novels, and listening to the news like in CNN, BBC, or Fox News. You may also want to learn more advanced vocabularies, idiomatic expressions, and slangs. Additionally, you can practice language immersion based on your personal interests. Right, I hope this helped your self evaluation. Don't forget to follow me on my social media accounts. You can follow me on my Instagram and join my private Facebook.